Good, happy Tuesday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to your 8 p.m. news and weather. Let's get started. First up, Rochester officer brings humor to department's Facebook feed. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
Jeff Moore has wanted to be a police officer since he was 16. Now, when he's not on patrol, the 4-year veteran of the Rochester Police Department is working on another goal.
I wanted people to wake up in the morning and say, what is the Rochester Police posted on Facebook, and have them check the page.
Since the first of the year, the 28-year-old has taken over writing Facebook posts, hoping to engage the public and show them there's a personality behind every uniform.
As soon as I opened my door, I was just like, New Hampshire winters, and so I thought the picture of Jack Nicholson from The Shining was spot on. And
he's taken a lighthearted approach to their practice of posting photos of shoplifting suspects, meant to both identify them and discourage others.
This diehard Chicago Bulls fan not only forgot to curve the brim of his hat, but he also forgot to pay for his merchandise, too.
It's paying off. A Monday post already taken down because suspects were identified within 2 hours.
There were 2 theft suspects that had haircuts that resembled Harry and Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber. So I commented that Harry and Lloyd parked their sheep van in downtown Rochester, came in and stole from the Cumberland Farms on Ninth Street.
The comments overwhelmingly positive. The page engaging 10,000 more readers and reaching over 55,000 more than 2 weeks ago. Is there a comedy career in his future?
I really like what I do here, and I think I got about 21 years to go. But then maybe when I retire, I'll hit some stand-up.
In Rochester, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Very cool indeed. I want to meet that police officer. Police. New Hampshire man accused of burning down church was mad at God for making him a pedophilia. Let's take a listen to this video from NH1 News.
Know the 5 signs.
Nearly 1 in 5 people
Has a diagnosable mental health condition.
Every time you help somebody with a mental health problem, you help all the people who love that person.
The man accused of setting a historic church on fire and then stabbing 2 people appeared in court today. Lebanon police say when Anthony Boisvert was arrested, he admitted to arson, asked if he had killed anybody, and said he would have killed family members had he been able to get into their house.
Lebanon police say when Anthony Boisvert was arrested, he admitted to arson, asked if he had killed anyone, and said he would have killed his own family members had he been able to get into their house. 27-year-old Anthony Boisvert appeared more calm today. Last week, during his arraignment, he was heard screaming and threatening his own family. Today, the judge heard details from Lebanon police about how and why Boisvert says he set fire to the historic First Baptist Church on December 28th and attempted to burn down an occupied building on the 29th.
He said he started the fire there because he knew that there was kids that lived there. He said he started the church fire because he was mad at God for making him a pedophile.
Hours before the church fire, witnesses say Boisvert had been drinking and bragging he'd be on the news.
Made some comments about past fires he had started both in Lebanon and in White River. At one point he left, and as he was leaving, he told them all to watch the news. He was going to go out. He was going to do something big in Lebanon tonight.
While police were searching for Boisvert, his wife called to say she heard from him and was concerned he may hurt someone. Then a call came in from the Boulders condo complex for a double stabbing.
The weapon, it was a steak knife, a serrated steak knife, and it was bent and was covered in blood.
Investigators say Boisvert's reason for the stabbings was because they had talked to police about the fire.
He was stabbed approximately 25 times, and Diane probably had approximately 6 stab wounds.
Tonight, we're learning both stabbing victims have been released from the hospital. Bovair's sister also appeared in court today. She's charged with falsifying evidence. Investigators say she wiped her cell phone, which has been seized. Both cases will now head to Superior Court. In the meantime, both remain behind bars. In Lebanon, Colleen Shaughnessy, NH1 News.
Okay, and there you go on that report. School bus safety. Somebody is not doing their job. Let's take a listen to this video from NBC Boston.
Bus drivers with driving records pages long, and the state was still letting them transport our kids. The governor insists the loophole's been closed, but lawmakers disagree.
I'd be shocked. When former Hopkinton school bus driver Robert Murphy was arrested for his third OUI, Kathy McLeod was floored. She had no idea about the first two, and she's the superintendent of schools.
By the time it gets to the school district, the assumption is that those things have already been looked at, quite honestly.
The state cleared Murphy because the law allows school bus drivers to have multiple drunk driving convictions as long as they didn't happen within the last 5 years. At the same time, the Registry of Motor Vehicle insists school bus drivers must have a clean driving record to transport kids.
Do you think parents know that this is what constitutes a clean record?
Absolutely not, nor did I.
We pulled the driving records of bus drivers involved in recent crashes. We got through 28 and found half had 8 or more significant incidents on their record. Crashes, speeding, suspensions, not stopping for a school bus. More than a third can still drive kids.
Is the state dropping the ball?
Yes, somebody is not doing their job.
We put the issue to Governor Charlie Baker.
This is a good example of where, you sort of need constant ongoing dialogue between the locals and the Commonwealth.
The RMV does alert a school or bus company if a driver's license has been suspended. And Governor Baker pointed to a new policy requiring police to notify the RMV if a bus driver has been arrested. But driving infractions can pile up with no suspension or arrest. Like this driver. Before he was fired for an alleged road rage incident with kids on the bus, he was found responsible in 2 crashes, 4 speeding tickets, and 2 failures to stop. And before this driver's last crash, she was in 4 other accidents and found responsible for 5 speeding tickets and 2 other infractions.
Well, is that who we want driving our kids?
Again, without knowing the specifics of any particular case, I'm not going to comment on that. The loophole that people were looking for us to close, we closed.
State Senator Ann Goby doesn't think so.
How quickly does this need to change?
Immediately, yesterday.
After our report, Senator Goby is now exploring possibilities to tighten the law. As for Hopkinton superintendent, she now reviews the hire of every driver. Allie Donnelly, NBC Boston.
Okay, and there you go on that report. President Obama's farewell address to the nation. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
Chubby little hand latches on her finger so hard, it's like she's saying, I love you. That's why Aveeno's oat formula is designed for your baby's sensitive skin. Aveeno, naturally beautiful babies.
President Obama has just arrived in Chicago tonight, where he is preparing to deliver his farewell address. A new poll tonight finding Mr. Obama with a 55% approval rating for his job as president, his best in 7 years. That same poll on Donald Trump tonight finding that 51% of Americans disapprove of how he's handling his job as president-elect. That same number viewing him unfavorably. ABC's Tom Llamas live in Chicago tonight, where the president will speak a short time from now. Hey, Tom.
David, good evening. This is turning out to be quite the event. The stage is set just behind me, and the president is going to have this long walk down over to the podium in front of thousands of his supporters, and he's breaking tradition. Usually the speech is given in D.C., but he wanted to give it here in Chicago. Why? Well, earlier today he posted on Facebook writing, "For me and Michelle, Chicago is where it all started. It's the city that showed us the power and fundamental goodness of the American people." And David, just moments ago we received some excerpts of his speech tonight, and he writes this also about
Chicago, this is where I learned that change only happens when ordinary people get involved, get engaged, and come together to demand it. Now, he'll be joined on stage with his family and the vice president. And when he's done here, David, he flies back to Washington, his last official trip on Air Force One as commander-in-chief.
Last official trip on Air Force One. In the meantime, there have been new indications, Tom, of what President Obama plans to do after he's in office.
That's right, David. The president has said if Hillary Clinton won, he'd basically give her the keys and just leave. But now he feels a responsibility to help elected Democrats to help rebuild the DNC. And privately, in other reports, he said if President-elect Trump does anything he vehemently opposes, he will not sit on the sidelines. David?
Right, Tom Llamas in Chicago. Tom, we'll see you just a short time from now. ABC News will be carrying the president's farewell address live tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on ABC. We also have President-elect Donald Trump's first formal news conference. That's tomorrow morning, also right here on ABC.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And we'll bring you that live coverage starting at 9 p.m. of President Barack Obama's speech. Why the Chinese yuan's next move may hinge on Trump's press conference. The next cue for Chinese battered yuan may come from U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's press conference on Wednesday as the market looks for more clarity on trade policy. Ex-Senator D'Amato kicked off flight after rallying passengers against crew. Former New York Senator Al D'Amato was removed from a delayed New York-bound JetBlue flight on Monday after trying to rally passengers against the flight crew. And your weather for tonight. A light mix to rain showers, temps steady or slowly rising into the mid to upper 30s. And that does it for your 8 p.m. news and weather. I'll be back here at around 9 p.m. for Obama's last speech. See you back here at 9 p.m. Goodbye, everyone.